Hi everyone, welcome to Greg James Fishing World. I get a lot of questions in my ABC radio program off my website gregjamesfishing.com.au, and one of the questions I get most is which colour squid lure works this week or this month. So many colours, so many different types and designs. Well, when it's cold and windy and you can't get out in your boat, or it's too wet to go off the jetty to catch a few squid, or calamari as they're also known, I've got the answer, the one and only answer to that question: how to catch squid using more than one lure. And this is actually a tried and tested method. So grab yourself a nice fishing knife, it's really simple, a piece of red line, I'll tell you about that in a minute, a couple of handy squid lures, which are lots of different varieties around the coast and around the world from your local retail fishing tackle store. Cut yourself a piece of line and you're on your way. So the trick here is to catch southern calamari, or squid as we call it. It'll catch cuttlefish, it'll catch other things as well. The first thing you do is thread with a couple of half hitches or a surgeon's knot onto the bottom of your line, the working end of your line, one of those squid lures that you're going to use to catch yourself a nice feed of southern calamari or torpedo squid or whatever. So I've just done a half hitch, a couple of half hitches, and these will last quite well. One of the things you can do, it's always nice to have a tidy rig and a tidy setup to stop tangles and stuff like that. So one of the things you can do is just cut off a little bit of that surplus line. Nice sharp knife, it's what you need. So there you've got your first rig, and this is a system I haven't made up and pulled out of my hat. It's a system I've tried and tested through many years fishing around Australia and elsewhere, in the Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea and the Diamond Straits near Bougainville when I was a young bloke working up there. The next step is to thread the second squid lure onto the same piece of line. You need good eyesight and a steady thumb. Through it goes, through the little loop it goes, and you run it down your line to about, I guess that's about 1/3 of a metre away from the first lure. So you're going to put two squid lures on the one line. And herein comes the answer to the question about which colour works. I've got two pink ones today, two pink squid lures, two pinkies, but you could get yellow and lemon and green and blue and all those other favourite colours that people will sell you because they all want to know which squid lure is working or what colour is attracting the squid. Here's your chance. Put a pink one on the top and a pink one in the middle, or a pink one and a green, or look, more colours than a footy jumper. So, a couple of half hitches. Pardon me, keep the mouth away from the sharp bits, that always helps. Tie that onto your line. Just use a bit of coordination here so that it all goes tight. Here we go. Just tie that on there, another half hitch. That's like a shoelace knot really, but you don't need to be too complicated or too technical. There's only about 4 or 5 fishing knots you'll need when you're a recreational fisherman, maybe half a dozen, but certainly no more. And voila, as the French say, there it is, there it is. You've got, oops, worked already, caught a trouser leg. You've got a squid lure that's double, and basically you run that from your boat or cast it out from a jetty or even off the beach in some instances, and that will guarantee you to attract the squid that otherwise may not have been the case. One of the tricks I use, so that, just to repeat, that's 1/3 of a metre, maybe 2 foot in the old language. We've basically got two squid lures on the one piece of line. That runs back to your rod or your hand line that you use. Use the same techniques of moving it through the water. You drop it anything between a foot from the surface to maybe a foot off the bottom. If you go too close to the bottom, these little sharp bits that catches the squid will actually catch the weed off the bottom. And when there's weed on these things, the squid won't attack them, won't bite them. One of the really special tricks, if you really want to get clever about it, and this is a secret Greg James fishing tip, is attach a smaller squid lure to the middle, what I call, or the top lure. So you've got a larger one at the bottom, a smaller one at the top, and you're creating a feeding synergy in the eye of the squid. Squid have 3D vision. They are amazing creatures, but their eyes can see backwards as well as forwards, and when you fish this way, as I have many times, you'll be amazed at, and I won't tell you the secret to this one in this session, whether the bigger squid chases the big lure or the small lure. Go and find out yourself. Get yourself a nice sharp knife, which all fishermen and women have, a couple of squid lures, a bit of cheap line, and voila, you're ready. Tight lines, and see you next time on Greg James Fishing.